Main Street, just over the bridge. Penn Flooring, quality customer service with a family touch.
Ocala's information station, 1370 WOCA. Ocala!
All right, 5 minutes after 11 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in. At the museum over at the Silver River Museum, there's a big skeleton from a creature that used to live around here. It's 7 feet tall or 9 feet tall. How tall is it?
9 feet
9
tall.
feet tall. It's got 2 fangs that are probably 6 or 8 inches long, right? It's gigantic. It's standing on its feet, like upright, like the way we walk.
Yes.
And the guy there will tell you that it used to run 70 miles an hour and could climb trees.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking, if I was here, when it was here, I wouldn't be here.
No.
Because I can't, 70 miles an hour. I wonder how accurate that is. I have no idea. But I remember the statement, and this is taking us where we want to go with this conversation, that we know, scientists know that this was a carnivore because of those big, gigantic fangs, right?
Yes.
So we don't have big, gigantic fangs, but we eat meat, right?
Exactly. I like cheeseburgers.
Well, I know.
I like meat.
I know, me too. Well, a lot of people do, but a lot of people say you shouldn't. A lot of people say, look at your teeth. Your teeth tell you you're supposed to be an herbivore, like the monkeys,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I don't mean the musical group from the 60s. Dr. Gary L. Clayman has wondered about this as well. He's got a lot of different credentials. He's one of the top cancer doctors in the United States. How about that for making a connection between what we eat and what ails us?
Yeah.
He is the Orlando J. Ballantyne Distinguished Chair of Head and Neck Surgery at the University of Texas. He's also a doctor at the Anderson Cancer Center in Houston. Am I saying that right? He served as the medical director of healthcare providers. He's recognized for his expertise in the surgical management of thyroid malignancies.
Yeah.
Wow. He's a researcher for thyroid cancer and named one of the best doctors in America for over 12 consecutive years. That is awesome. What an honor to have him on our little show. Should humans be carnivores is the topic. Developing a sustainable, happier, and healthier lifestyle. Good morning, Dr. Clayman. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Larry. Thank you for having me on your show.
Oh, you're welcome. Where are you? Are you in Houston?
Yeah, I'm in Houston. I'm at home.
Do you know, I was a vegetarian for 3 years, but I wasn't a good one because I would eat cheese and eggs, and I think there was some shrimp in the egg rolls I ate. I wasn't really good at it, but
and beef and pork.
No, I stayed away from the obvious ones, but it was when I was much younger, and then I went to California and I saw the Great American Food and Beverage Company, and they had this big cheeseburger in the picture on the window, and I said, gosh, okay, I'm done with the vegetarian thing. We've had a number of doctors on who talk to us about veganism, where there's no dairy, no cheese, no nothing, and those folks have to have an extra supplement or something. So that to me says, now I'm not trying to tell you what to say, but it sounds like to me we need meat or some kind of a meat product. Am I right?
You know, Larry,
or am I wrong?
Bring up a perfect point, and the reality of it is that just think of us, we're a piece of machinery. I mean, obviously we're not, but just think of us. We need some type of fuel to run. And there's only 2 options in humans. There's only 2 options. You can run this fuel of sugar, or you can run on the fuel of fat. That's the only 2 options available to humankind. You can want to run on petrochemicals or whatever else, but you don't have a choice. You can only run on sugar, or you can run on fat. And if you run on fat, you will be healthy. And you will be healthier, better, and longer than if you run on sugars. If you are a vegan, if you are a vegetarian, you are running on sugar.
Really?
There's no question about it.
Okay.
No.
Wow.
So those people who those are fighting words to some people. So somebody who's all vegetables, the sugar comes from where?
Well, the sugar comes from the complex carbohydrates. It comes from their fruits and vegetables. And so I I have a website, Larry. It's called liveitdiet.com, and your listeners can find all the information they want on there. It's totally free. My wife and I have paid for it. We're not trying to make money. We're just trying to make people healthful, and that's our motivation here. So let's just sort of start with that foundation. But if you are a vegetarian, you are running on sugar, and the sugar is derived from the complex carbohydrates, which are then broken down and then metabolized as sugar compounds, or the simple carbohydrates of fruits and vegetables, which is part of the Live It diet. So the Live It diet doesn't limit any fruits and vegetables whatsoever, except for the complex, white starches like potatoes.
Oh, okay. And I would assume that means breads and pastas and things like that too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So any grain, those are true complex carbohydrates, and they're just not healthful for us. Now, can you have them periodically? Yes.
Well, today's a blue moon, so we can have.
Today is a blue moon. So yeah, let's take.
So I can have my tuna noodle salad today, right? Just once in a blue moon.
So Larry, so the fundamentals of the Live It diet is, yes, when the blue moon comes, when your anniversary comes, when Christmas is here, Thanksgiving is here, then yes, you don't worry about what you're consuming. You haven't done anything wrong. You live it. You enjoy that slice of pizza with your 19-year-old son or your 5-year-old's birthday cake or whatever it is. You haven't done anything wrong. And then you go about your normal Live It diet, nutrition, lifestyle plan, and you will live, healthier, happier, longer. There's absolutely no question about it.
Well, I want to ask you something that I've asked other guests that we've had who were promoting vegetarian diets.
Okay.
I'm going to ask you the same question I've asked them, and you're the first person I'm asking this to who has actually said we should be eating meat. Because they will often say to avoid cancer, you have to avoid meats. And since you're a cancer specialist, you're the perfect person to ask this. The question was this: how come Linda McCartney, and I hope you're old enough to remember who she is. Mm-hmm. Do you remember Linda, by chance?
Way too. In fact, I remember when she was married to Jerry Brown. That's how old I am.
Oh, wow.
She was married to Jerry Brown? Linda McCartney?
Yeah.
Not Linda Ronstadt, Linda McCartney.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, you're old enough, though.
But if you remember, Linda Ronstadt was married to Jerry Brown.
I had my Lindas mixed up.
Right. So Linda McCartney was the wife of Paul McCartney. So if you know Linda Ronstadt was married to Jerry Brown, then you must remember Linda McCartney.
Of course.
And remember, she was a vegetarian, and she converted Paul to becoming a vegetarian, and she died of cancer. And I will always say to the guests who are saying that you won't get cancer if you're a vegetarian, how come Linda McCartney died of cancer? So and they usually have some kind of an answer, but I'm not saying they're right or wrong. I'm just saying I've never asked a meat guy this question. So what do you think? And not that you know her case.
And the first thing is that I'm not a meat guy.
Oh, you're not a meat guy. Okay.
Well, no. I believe in healthy protein and fats, and so and I've been studying this for more than 30 years. I know the information that was known 30 years ago and the tremendous amount of new insight that we've had. So let's sort of start it with this way. Number one, the Live It diet, and again, it's liveitdiet.com, but the Live It diet requires healthy proteins and fats. And they're basically from anything that moves. So sometimes people think of meat and they think about beef. But beef is meat, poultry is meat, and that can be any type of fowl source, crustaceans, fish, you name it. If it moves, bison, ostrich, whatever you want, it's good for us. We are made for it. In fact, I heard you talking about the dinosaur and these 6-foot fangs.
Right. 6 inch.
You saw when you look at my CV, I went to dental school and I graduated from dental school, practiced dentistry. If you look in the mirror and you smile at yourself, those are teeth of carnivores. We are not made for
Oh, okay.
grain. It is a misnomer. We've only been eating grains for a very short period of time in the longevity of humankind. And so we are made for eating meat. We run incredibly effectively as fast as a fuel source. In fact, much more effectively. And to get right to your question now, the question was cancer, and the real answer is that it's full of a bunch of garbage. There's wonderful things about the internet, but be very, very knowledgeable about the quality of information that you're...
Right. Okay, you're breaking up a little bit. I don't know if you could do something.
So I apologize.
Okay.
But so let me put it this way. If you come and see me as a cancer specialist, the most contemporary method that we have for identifying most cancers in humans is something called a PET-CT scan. I hope you and your listeners have at least heard of this.
Yeah.
But this is a scan that what we do is we tell you, don't eat or drink anything after midnight. And then you come and see us at 8 o'clock in the morning. We start something in a vein in your arm. And what do we put in there? We put sugar that is specially labeled. And what does that sugar do? It goes right to the cancer, and it lights up like a Christmas tree.
Oh.
Oh, really?
Yes. Now that's number one. Number two, I have a laboratory where I do cancer research. In the laboratory, when I want to grow cancer cells, what are the two necessary ingredients that I put in with those cancer cells? And I'll answer my own question. The answer is sugar and insulin. So if you eat a grain-rich diet, if you eat a lot of processed sugar, or you are a vegetarian, you are living your life with a sugar-based diet and elevated insulin level.
Wow.
Oh, my God.
That's pretty powerful. All right, let me, Doctor, first of all, let me tell you, you're breaking up a little bit on your phone connection. I'm not sure what that is, but we'll take a little break right now, and we'll be right back. Fascinating conversation. Dr. Gary L. Clayman, we're talking about what might be causing cancers. We're talking about the possibility that it might be what you're eating. And there's a website that the doctor gave us. I just went to it, by the way, liveitdiet.com. It's liveit, and then the word diet, D-I-E-T, liveitdiet.com. We'll take a little break, and we'll be right back.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. For today, we'll see clouds and intervals of sunshine across the region, and there can be a shower and heavy thunderstorm or two around, especially during the afternoon and evening hours. Watch for flooding downpours, the high 86 to 90. A shower or thunderstorm later tonight, though 74 to 77. For tomorrow, clouds, some sun, a couple of showers and thunderstorms around in the afternoon, the high 84 to 88. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
Good credits, bad credits. It's none of our business because we're not an auto dealer. We're not a bank. We're not your mother. We're OcalaForSale.com. Marion County's marketplace for cars, trucks, and SUVs. We've got thousands of sellers standing by to take your call. No middleman. But hurry, don't walk, don't run. Just sit down and log on to OcalaForSale.com. Prices and inventory change daily. Offer does not include dealer upcharge. Undercutting, rust-proofing, factory surcharge, or delivery fee. See website for details.
Prestige Food Trucks, the world's leading food truck manufacturer, specializing for the startup vendor all the way up to restaurant chains, is a proud sponsor of Food Truck Talks, the weekly show heard every Wednesday at 9 a.m. on The Source, WOCA News Talk, that brings you the inside scoop, ladle, spatula, spoon, fork, and plate from inside of the custom food trucks you see in and around town. Find what makes each food truck unique in its own way, from the food they serve to how it's prepared in their custom manufactured truck. Food Truck Talks, Wednesdays at 9 a.m., sponsored by Prestige Food Trucks.
Are you looking for a durable farm fence to keep your horses enclosed, or a beautiful vinyl fence to give that finishing touch to your home? Seminole Fence has over 20 years of experience in providing quality fence products and services for farm and residential properties. Let them surround your property with a fence that provides privacy, security, and stunning appeal. Don't wait. Contact them today at 352-208-0959 for a free estimate. Seminole Fence, working hard to build fences and harder to build relationships.
All right, 19 minutes after 11 o'clock. We got 11 minutes to try to figure this out. And we're all ears about this. And during the break, somebody sent a message asking me to ask this question, so I will do this. Okay. Dr. Gary L. Clayman is on the phone. We're asking the question. He's answering the question, should humans be carnivores? Sounds like we should be. But he's got a kind of a more balanced diet than the Atkins, it sounds like. And I'm going to ask him about that, too. But Dr. Clayman, are you there?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, good. Oh, you sound much better now with the new line, by the way. Thank you. All right. So the question was, leukemia is a cancer. Cats eat only meat. How come cats get feline leukemia?
Well, it's a wonderful question, and I don't know much about feline malignancies, so I can't answer much about that. I can tell you that leukemias are clearly highly driven by sugar-based metabolism, and we talk very avidly to leukemia patients about changing their nutrition plans based upon their malignancy.
Can we actually reverse cancer by changing our diet?
So that's a wonderful question, Larry, and the short of it is we don't know. So, much of the information about nutrition continues to evolve, and obviously the opportunities for research continue to just, explode. And so our nutritional understanding is greatly increasing. We know that through a nutritional diet that we can really make ourselves much healthier. So we can reverse inflammatory diseases, reverse or improve hypertension, reverse or improve reflux, reverse or improve autoimmune or inflammatory diseases. Now, malignancies, they're a complex issue. Now, they clearly run on sugar, but some of them actually don't run on sugar, but they are the rarity, or don't run as avidly on sugar, I guess is probably a better way of putting that. But reversing malignant process, I wouldn't want to advocate for that. But helping you through treatment, or helping you, prevent the recurrence of a cancer, yes, I think it's probably the most proactive thing.
Okay. Gosh, you're breaking up again. I don't know what's going on. So let me ask you this. What about the animal products that are not meat, like dairy and eggs?
So I believe that, eggs are a wonderful, wonderful source of protein and fat. I consume a large quantity of eggs, and so I actually enjoy egg whites, so I consume egg whites.
Oh, you get rid of the yolk?
And I get rid of the yolk, yes. Dairy, I have young children, Larry, and I think there's benefits in kids having ample sources of calcium enrichment. But as adults, no, we don't need dairies at all.
Are there more birth defects now than there were years ago, and is that because of the diet?
I'm sorry. Can you please repeat that?
Are there more birth defects now than there were years ago, and is that because of the diet of the mother?
I'm going to apologize for my lack of knowledge in that area. So I'm not an expert in birth defects or the incidence thereof. So But I'd like to switch it to another point, and the other point would be, can we be proactive? I mean, are there things that we're consuming that may be contributing to the concept of birth defects, whether the incidence is increased or not? And I think that I am a big advocate for organics. I think about Gainesville, Florida, and the incredible access to fresh farm organic produce. You and your listeners are very fortunate, and I'm a big advocate of people being knowledgeable about what they're consuming, especially genetically modified things. Now, breeding two different cows together is one thing, but inserting DNA into them is another issue.
Right. So okay. So when we say meat is okay, does that when we process meat, for example, you've probably seen the video on YouTube about the whatever they make chicken McNuggets out of, and that kind of thing. Yeah. I mean, is that the exception? You talk about just go to the butcher and get real meat, as opposed to whatever we get from fast food restaurants.
Oh, Larry, I think you hit a nail right on the head. I think that people need to be very knowledgeable consumers. Know what you're consuming. Prepackaged things. I'm a big advocate of knowing what you're getting and getting quality. Quality doesn't necessarily mean more expensive. Quality means being your own consumer advocate, for lack of better terms. So, what's in, and again, I'm not for or against. I don't have any stock in any companies. But if you're going to put all sorts of parts from all sorts of things and have other things get into there and have different things holding it together, that's not something I want to feed to myself or my children.
Yeah, good point.
Does the USDA have any effect on how you treat your patients and what you tell them about meat?
Yeah, I love your question because it's very, very interesting. So Live It Diet is something that I created, and although I'm an employee of the University of Texas MD Anderson Cancer Center, they do not have ownership of this, nor are they advocating for it or against it. But I've been educating my patients for decades. I think it's my responsibility as a physician to talk to them, and even our website is liveitdiet.com, but this is really a lifestyle issue. This is about what to consume. It's not about counting calories. You don't need to buy anything at all. There's no prepackaged meal plans. There's nothing for sale. This is about nutrition. This is about exercise. This is about stress reduction. It's about living a healthy, happier, longer life.
I'm at the website, and he's telling you the absolute truth. That is what it is. So an avocado has fat in it. Avocado is a vegetable, but it's got fat in it. Is that right?
Yeah. Well, there are vegetables that have fat, but they're not bad for you. I mean, avocados, olives. Just think about all these. Very, very rich food sources, but they're incredibly helpful for it.
Well, Doctor, something very unique about our visit today. You don't have a book to sell. You don't have anything to sell. You have a website you want us to go to, and there's nothing for sale on the website. So for the listeners, if you've heard us talking about websites from other guests, typically, and there's nothing wrong with selling things. That is kind of the way the world spins. But in this case, Dr. Clayman is the exception. It's really a very informative website, and I think it'll get you going. And if you are of the way I think is, hey, I'm going to try this, and if I feel bad or if it works, I think this is a great thing. You've got a whole page of testimonials on the website. So for those who want to read, let's see, there's Guillermo, who's a film director and a producer. There's U.S. News and World Report quote. There's a quote from a guy named Larry, who has a good name, who's 57 years old. He's an engineer. Anyway, it looks like there's a lot of good information on here. The website is liveitdiet.com, D-I-E-T, liveitdiet.com. Doctor, thank you for being on the air with us today.
Thank you so much, Larry. It was really an honor and a pleasure.
Good information. It just rings true. Doesn't it just even ring true?
It does.
Sometimes
right.
you say things, gosh, that doesn't ring true. This does. This rings true. And I'm going to try to stay away from pasta, but not today, because it's a blue moon today.
That's right. Once in a blue moon.
I've already got my mind made up that I'm going to have tuna noodle salad today. So, Dr. Gary Clayman, thank you so much for being on with us today. That was fun.
Thank you so much. Have a great day, and enjoy, and stay cool, listeners.
Yes, stay cool. Stay cool. And exercise, by the way, is also part of this website. So
it's a great website.
Not just about eating. Dr. Clayman, again, thank you. We'll take a little break. Be right back.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. For today, we'll see